Alright, hello to my beautiful and lovely gamers. My name is Jonal. It's time for that shit to finally talk about it. So let's talk about what some people will state to be the final straw at the end, or where the dev team has gotten batshit crazy. The experimental card that is live now on Overwatch. I've been playing it now for 12 to 16 hours, somewhere in between that. Time into this now. Again, I have been a tier 2 coach. I've worked in contenders a little bit. I work a lot with the tier 3 scene, meaning the trials area around there. I have private coached hundreds of individuals, everyone between bronze and top 500. I have myself started this game platinum. Well, I started in season 1, but in season 2 I was platinum, and made my way all the way up to right about 4.2k, which was when I played Genji during GOATS. So I would like to give my honest opinion on what's going on right now, and my feedback on this, that hopefully someone in the dev team can see, and hopefully at least take my experience and your experience into the consideration. I would like you guys to write your stuff down in the comment section, so if somebody actually drops by from the dev team and watches this from somebody that's been playing this game since the beta, they can also read your opinions and hopefully get a sense of how we feel about this, because in the end, that's what the experimental card is. That's the disclaimer I want to talk about before we start anything. The experimental card is experimental. It is a try this out. I understand why a lot of people are confused about it, because we also had PTR, which was supposed to be a testing run, but most PTR stuff just goes through. Even though the community sometimes are outraged about it, it still goes on to live server. For example, the break. For example, Break, yeah. That's actually a really good example. Break, or some of the Mercy stuff, which a lot of people were outraged about before it came live, and then it still went on to live servers, which I think some people sees the experimental cards as, quick, the in-game version of the PTR. So just not no PTR, but instead run as that. It is a test. It's an actual test. At least, again, well, I know Blizzard is lying, but as I understand it, and from what I've heard from the people that I've been talking to, it is straight up a test. If we don't like it, then we will tell them, and they will not implement it, or they will implement maybe parts of it and try to work with us. And that's, I think, is very, very, very important. Now, I will do this a little bit different than other YouTubers. I won't just be reading you guys the patch notes, because that's kind of boring, to be completely honest with you. The TLDR of what has happened on the experimental card right now is that they have changed the thing to 3 DPSs, 2 supports, and 1 tank. You already know that. So meaning that's what you will be getting in your matches. You get 1 tank, you get 2 supports, you get 3 DPSs. Then they have essentially gone on, and that's what essentially their patch note is. The patch note is essentially they had taken every single tank and made them more tanky, except Hammond. That's essentially what they've done. Okay, so Roadhog has a shorter hook, has reduced damage on his primary fire, but now also has like this AoE heal that heals everybody around him. I think it's about, as what I could see, about a 5-meter radius around him, and also give them a damage reduction of 25%. It will heal 25 health per second and provide a 25 damage reduction. It's an AoE, so it's like kind of like tanking for his team, right? Because he's healing a damage reduction for his team, but at the same time, he doesn't have a shield, right? So it's a way of trying to make Roadhog a solo tank, right? Zarya has a chain bubble. When she now gives her allies a bubble, if you're within 8 meters of the target that got bubbled, everybody else around also gets a bubble within those 8 meters. So you bubble somebody, and then if your entire team is stacked within 8 meters of each other, your entire team gets bubbles, right? And the bubbles now last for 1 more second, and what normally would last for 2 seconds, now it lasts up to 3 seconds, right? So you have a longer shield as well. However, they have reduced the amount of charges you can get maximum from a barrier. So you can only get 30 energy per barrier. Before it was 40. So instead of making sure Zarya can, normally if you charge a Zarya onto bubbles, she would have 80 energy, which is very close to her max. Way back it was 100, right? It was 50 per barrier, I think. And now you're down to 60 energy per. So she has reduced her damage of how fast she can build her charge and get damage. And if she hits her maximum charge, so if she hits 100 energy, they have also reduced her damage. Her primary fire goes from 170 to 140. Her secondary fire goes from 95 to 80. Meaning, essentially, they're trying to just take the dial on the tanks and just turn it up. and then see what happens. Make them more tanky, and then in some scenarios reduce your damage output to make it balanced. That's what they've been doing. And then this rest of it is just normal DPSs and normal supports. This is where my issue comes in. And I will go over how I felt playing every single tank. Again, I'm Grandmaster on tank. I coach tanks professionally. I will go over my opinion, and also what I've talked to some other people about what they feel about the new tank stuff. However, let me first explain why this is, in my opinion, a bad thing to do, to run 3-2-1. Why it is bad. And I know this is boring for some people, and if you don't want to watch it, you can skip this part. You can just jump forward to the patch notes. But I think this is really, really important, because so many people, I don't think, really understand what this does to the game. So I'll just pull up any random map here on Step Banana. I'll put up Eichenwald, because Eichenwald is a fine map, I suppose. Okay, so this is how a setup normally is done in Overwatch right now. You have a main tank, an MT, and an off tank. This is the two roles on the team. Now, right now, that means that every team has 2 tank players, 2 DPS players, 2 support players. Now, what happens now in the pro scene is that you have to remove one of the tank players and get an additional support, an additional DPS. Okay? So now it's essentially everybody that plays off tank, or some main tank players that can't adapt to maybe pick and meta stuff, but it will most likely be all the off tank players, will get booted from teams. And that's people that have been grinding this shit. That's people that I've been working with since season 3 or season 4. Some people have been playing this since the fucking beta as well. Those guys off the teams, because we need a heavy aimer. We don't need another tank. We already have a main tank player, and we have to field another DPS player now. So unless the off tank players can somehow adapt into a DPS slot, then you're off the team. There goes your competitive career. That's contender players. That's owl players. That's everything. Unless you somehow can adapt to whatever this shit will be, then your career is over in this game. That I don't think is fine. Number 2, this fundamentally changed how Overwatch is played. Overwatch now, on the experimental card, feels like Counter-Strike. You have 3 DPSs that are looking for picks, and if you don't get a pick, it's a GG. You have if you play in this lobby and your Widowmaker is shit and their Widowmaker is good, have fun seeing your rest of your team getting spawn camped if you're playing tank. And if you're playing DPS, you either shut down that Widow and at the same time try to hold whatever main group you have, or it's again GG. And a good Widowmaker can just fuck you guys up so hard, especially if you're not playing shield. And that's where the issue comes in. Reinhardt is useless in this meta. You cannot play Ryan as soul tank. They need to rework him if they want to. You can't get any efficiency out of him. I'll show you 2 parts footage of me trying to play Ryan here. I'll actually one. Let me show you one, okay? Let me show you this. This is, let me see, I'm just gonna jump. Okay, so, I swapped off whatever hero I was playing. Yeah, I was playing Winston, testing out him. So I decided, let's go and play some Reinhardt. Okay, great. So I come in here and I fire strike something. Now, notice this entire footage will just run in the background. I will get very little value out of absolutely anything. Okay? It's almost impossible to push anywhere. Now, I'm having a fun time just blocking this, and the enemy team is really trash, and they can't push the choke. But I'm not getting any value here. No matter what, this entire gameplay is just me running around, swinging a couple times. Doomfist sucks ass and doesn't push me into the wall. I run back. I stand here down in here in the choke. I try to chase this Hanzo. I can't chase the Hanzo. I swing at this Zarya. I can't chase the Zarya. Okay, cool. I can't attack any of these. I fall back to my corner because I'm afraid to get collapsed on. My Hanzo get 2 picks and I win the fight, right? I can't do anything. There's a Mercy here. Okay, I can't get her. Oh, that's a Moira. I can't get her. You can't get shit. You can't do anything. They're just running around you. That's the issue. Unless the enemy team decide the only one I can try to stop is the Zarya. And I can only stop her with a limit. Because again, if they start pushing people through main and through the top left side of Dorado, there's nothing I can do about it. I can only block 1 choke. and without an off tank to cover one of my angles, I'm super, super vulnerable. And if I push too far forward, I get collapsed and surrounded because I don't have an off tank to peel me. The same happened when I was playing Orisa. The same happened with anything. Overwatch is built around this concept that if you're playing Rein, you have another off tank backing you up or doing something. Meaning, for example, if you're playing this with Asaria, that means you get a bubble. So when you swing, you get a bubble. It also means that you have somebody that can cover one angle for you. So if for some reason we need a tank to cover one angle or help you take an angle, then you can have that tank do that job for you. So for example, if I for some weird reason want to hold all the way up here, which is really bad for most scenarios, right? I can have a diva take this high ground for me. And now this high ground is contested. So now a DPS cannot just climb up here and just start shooting over my shield, right? Making it somewhat viable. It also helps the Reinhardt hold the area. Because again, if I'm standing here and I'm shielding because I'm getting bombarded by everything and I can't swing back. If I have a let's say a Zarya, for example, up my ass protecting me, they can't just jump me. They can't just send people on me as a Rein, because I will shield their healers and some of their damage dealers, and my Zarya will just farm off them. Meaning she's the one that actually brings this damage. If I get too low, or if I'm pressured too much, or for some reason I need to shield to block for my team. Meaning now there's some form of work here being done. And this goes for so many heroes. There's majority of the tanks are unplayable in this meta-wise. Meaning I played them fine. I won so many games playing Hog and Zarya and even some Sigma and some Diva even. Like I could hold chokes with Diva and so on. I won also one game with Rein, but you're not doing anything comparatively to what you would be doing before. And so many of them are so bad. The best heroes and the heroes that will be meta, and I can promise you this, is Orisa. She's a fucking god. What is the Reinhardt supposed to do against Orisa? Nothing. I'll actually show you. I'll show you. This is a game from Dorado that I know, not Dorado, from Nabani. Okay. So there's this, whatever, they have a Sigma, okay, great. So I put up my shield here, okay? And now I'm gonna stand like this, and I'm gonna halt, and I'm gonna hold mouse 1, and I'm gonna win this. And there's nothing they can do about it. Oh, wow, they tried to push me. Oh no, what are they gonna do? They can't break my fucking shield. Oh, they broke my shield, great. I still have Fortify here. Oh, great. Okay, you tried to push the choke. Oh, you tried to run? I halt you. Okay, I get hit by the sun, who cares? I can push them out now. I don't have shield, so I'm waiting for my shield, and I'm pushing back out. Okay? And I'm like, oh, but it's Sigma, he's really bad at pushing. What happens if they go Rein? Okay, so they go Rein. So I halt here, and I'm annoying, and whatever. The Rein comes up. Notice how I block the Doomfist, I halt the Doomfist and the Rein, whatever. I'm just kiting a little bit backwards here, and the Rein doesn't have shield, and the Rein dies, and the Doomfist is left, and GG. They can't push me. It doesn't matter what they try to do. The Rein will never have a shield. He will never get any value. I will break his shield, pull him back, and break his shield again. If he tries to push me, I fortify. If they try to jump me, I fortify. Because the Rein has nothing to engage with and no damage to follow up with, he can't do anything to stop me on Orisa. It does not matter what he tries to do. Orisa is really broken. Outside of that, Dive is really good. You can solo tank as Winston, and you can solo tank as Hammond. These two are really, really good. And if you thought playing support against normal dive, 2-2-2 dive, was frustrating because you get jumped, and even in high tier professional play, sometimes we have to even say like, okay, they're playing like this super aggressive dive. We will of course try to make our Arno survive, but sometimes in teamfights you're just like, okay, Diana's dead, our Arno's just dead here. Imagine playing against a Hammond or a Winston with Sombra, Genji, Genji, Tracer on your back line. Or maybe even you swap the Genji for a Widow, just to have some LOS with the snipers, right? Can you imagine how frustrating that must be? And you can't do that much about it. So Rein is useless, completely, absolutely dog shit, can't play him. Zarya struggled. Yes, you have a chain bubble, but who the fuck is supposed to engage? If you play Zarya, you have to hope that you have a Doomfist, or something similar, that can engage for you. Because you can't engage because your bubble gets broken too fast. Imagine if I play Zarya here on offense, and I need to go, and I make it to here, okay? Now they're playing Rein, right? If they're playing Orisa, right? They don't have a Zarya, right? They have an Orisa. Let's just make her blue. Okay? First of all, get me and my team through this choke without a shield. Okay, good fucking luck, right? They put a Hanzo or a Widow or some bullshit like that, and they fucking spam the choke and it's GG. Right? Same if we go through here, doesn't matter, right? Okay, let's say that we made it to here. How the fuck am I supposed to push any of these points right now, right? Am I supposed to go this way? or this way? How the fuck am I supposed to even engage anybody with this? I need somebody to bubble. So I need my DPSs. I can't just like run and then 180 bubble somebody and then continue running, right? I need somebody to engage for me. And I did, the sorry trick where if your DPS is pushed too far up, I bubble them and hide behind them and use them as a improvised shield. And that kind of works, but it's such a fucking bad excuse of a shield compared to if you face an Orisa, okay? And that's the issue. The same goes for Hog. Really great idea, actually kind of fun to play, even though I think his damage is too low, so, that kind of ruins the whole idea for me of what a Hog player is, but the AoE heal and so on, and you could do something. I'd go healing in a bunch of matches, right? And it was kind of fun to play, but it occurs with the same thing, right? It's like, at that point, you're playing a lot for hooks, and you're playing a lot for picks, right? So you're hoping your DPS doesn't get picked, you're hoping your support doesn't get picked, and then you yourself are just looking for a hook, right? So you're helping to break shield, and then you're looking for a hook. And that's the way that you have to play that. Because again, you can't push anything with distance. It's impossible, right? So for example, if the enemy team set up top of here, it could be kind of difficult to play this with a Hog, right? Because if you try to push through any of these open areas to the point, you get shut down. So at that point, you would have to rotate all the way around, and maybe try to play something in here, maybe, if that's a possibility. Or something similar, right? So if you're playing Hog, he's semi-viable in solo queue because you can just break shield and hook, which you still can do on the live server, right? Same thing goes with D.Va. D.Va has a shit ton long matrix right now. She actually works kind of fine. She actually does, because the long ass matrix that she has. So D.Va is like an example of where they have actually managed to, at least to a certain extent, to allow a tank to do somewhat of work, right? And Sigma, which you might be asking about. Sigma is also, again, not really that good. I'll show you. I played Sigma. And the issue is Sigma's damage reduction that he was given is kind of low. Okay, so whatever. So here I'm coming through the choke. Okay, I make him go down. Now I'm standing here breaking shield because I can't push into the Rhine. The Rhine's slowly gonna lose shield. He can't really do much about it, right? Here I'm trying to do, this is because it's fucking low elo play, right? Whatever. Okay, mouse wanting everything. Okay, so that's the Rhine, so I'm just gonna push him a little bit, try to get something out of it. Again, remember, I haven't played Sigma in fucking years, right? Okay, I'm getting shot a little bit here, so whatever. Okay, now I'm trying to off angle here, and I'm gonna just be allowed to stand here, because again, I'm super survivable, right? And I'm not removing my shield because I'm a fucking bot. Now I did, right? But notice how much I'm just shooting at these people. I'm not getting any fucking frags, right? I'm just shooting at people. And that's the issue. There's too much healing, and because of that, I can't kill a fucking McCree because there's just so much healing on them, right? And it's just such a weird way of playing this game, right? If they were playing dive, for example, this guy swapped over to Winston, I'm now completely useless because there's nothing that stops this Winston from going ham. And I think that he's going to continue, if I remember correctly, to just fucking fuck me up, right? Here I miss my thing, right? Monkey dives, and there's nothing I can do to contest him. I have to now run back, and I can't even break the monkey shield, right? Now we broke it, finally. Now he leaps back out. That's the high noon. I miss my mouse 1 because I'm really bad. Oh, wow, I got a kill, right? Which was off the back of my team. Here I'm trying to eat the visor. The monkey, I still can't do anything about him. Okay, let's try to break shield. Okay, guys, let's just try to break shield. Let's try to see if we can shield this soldier. Okay, he drops because he's weird. And the monkey isolated me. Okay, great. Now I'm trying to get healed. I get Emo Field to survive, and now get put back up to max, right? And now this monkey should juggle me. I have not done anything this game. I've been holding mouse 1 and trying to pressure and shield angles, and it just fucking doesn't help. I'm just getting bullied around by this monkey because he's playing monkey. There's nothing I can do about it. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it. There's too much. There's not enough damage. I can't control the tank like that because I'm playing Sigma. So Sigma doesn't work either as a solo tank, and that's the issue. Heroes like Sigma, and to a certain extent Hog, and to a certain extent D.Va, and Zarya, and Rhine are really good in pairs. That's what they're really good at. Okay? And the fact that the tanks can be so blatantly ignored, you're forcing a meta where it's Orisa and it's dive that's getting played, and that's the things that will be played in the competitive professional meta, and also in solo queue. As soon as you start getting up to a rank where people start understanding this, people start abusing the fact that they can just play around their shields if you don't have one, right? Outside of that, it's a clown fiesta of seeing that who the fuck has the best DPSs on this lobby, and that's it. There's no structure. You lose the structure of the game that we have in 2-2-2. You lose the fact that you have two tanks that will be pushing a specific choke point, and then you can set up defensive and offensive sides. You lose that. You lose the fact that there is a front line that is playing together, and it's about two things. You have multiple ways of winning this. You can try to slowly but surely deny space by choking out the DPSs, not allow them to off angle. Slowly but surely, like, taking angles so that you have multiple lines of crossfire, right? That's gonna be set up, right? And you can play from that. You can try to win the front line fight by bullying the tanks, so the tanks will have to fall back or get killed, potentially picking a tank, right? Picking off one of the tanks. You can, or you can try to take out the back line, take out some of the support players, or take out some of the DPS players if they are playing DPS players that can, to a certain extent, get picked, right? There's so much variation here, right? And that's because of the way it's played. In this new 3-2-1, it's all about, can my DPSs frag? Because as a tank, I can't push. And I need my DPSs to clean everything around me, or get picks, or else I can't do much. As an Orisa, I can at least push in and slowly claim space. That's why Orisa's really good. As a Monkey, I can close gaps very fast and crowd control, and I am really good against squishies, like 200 HP heroes. So essentially you can play Monkey, and the same thing goes with Hammond. But as a Rhine, you can't push, you can't move, you can't do shit. As a Zarya, you should get consistently bullied as soon as you don't have bubble, and as soon as they will shoot at you, force you to bubble, and after that they should just bully you. That's the only thing that should be going into mind if you see a Zarya playing in the lobby. Same thing goes with a Hog. Just bully the Hog. He's a big ass target. You have snipers that can do 300 damage headshots. You have Hanzos that can do 250 damage headshot. McCree with 140 damage headshot. This Hog should not have his breather anytime, and you should have a shield behind an Orisa that you can just hide behind, and then he can't hook you, and then it's GG. Okay? And that is the fucking issue. The same goes with a Sigma. He doesn't have damage, and he has a really crappy shield. So just pressure the Sigma. The Sigma is very unkillable, but he doesn't really do much either, right? So it's not really that useful to play the Sigma. You're not going to have that much impact on the match. Compare that to now, where if you play a Reinhardt, yes, you will be engaged with, but you also have a matrix that can be put around you, or bubble that can be put around you, right? Or somebody, another tank there that can help you control an angle, can help you push up, can help you play the objective, can help you to a certain extent play around. And even in solo queue, where you see the meme dream off-tank players fucking flank and off-angle and so on, at least the fact that you can put one tank over here to push one angle, and then your trashy ass Zarya that flanked push this angle. At least now you're applying pressure from two different angles, and at least now there's still some form of crowd control, right? You push the Rhine, you get fucked by the Zarya. You push the Zarya, you get fucked by the Rhine. Remove this and replace the Zarya with a McCree player, and all of a sudden, oh, the Kree is over here and the Rhine is over there. Okay, either ignore the Rhine and kill the Kree, or just try to block off the Kree if you have something that you can block him off with. Right? Shoot at him, make him low, because he's a fucking McCree. He's very easily bursted. And then kill the Rhine. Because what does the Kree gonna do? He can't push onto the point alone. Right? The DPSs can't play the objective. They don't have the health to play the objective. So if you don't have a tank that can push the fucking point, and you play if you're a good point and you don't have DPSs, that fucking helps you get to the point, because you need them to fucking create so much pressure on the enemy team that they can't bully you all the time. If that's not the case, then you're gonna be standing in the fucking choke, or you're gonna feed. And that's the two options that you have as a tank player. And that's why I don't like this PTR patch. I really don't. It takes away the structure of the game and turns this into Counter-Strike, where it's all about the frags. It's all about the rifles, right? Get the Widow to get a pick, get the Creed to get a pick, right? Get the Doomfish or the Tracer on the back line, let them do some damage, right? And then if you play tank, either try to actually play tank in the nice space, or play it as a DPS and just like build energy or land good hooks, and then hope for the best, right? At that point, it's far more an actual TDM lobby with an objective. Again, like Counter-Strike, right? Where just fragging everybody out can help. It's a lot more like that than an actual game for space control, where you control space and have tanks that are positioned differently and DPS is positioned differently compared to that and so on. But it's the whole dynamic. It just slices so much of how the game is actually supposed to be played. And that's the big issue right now. So, that is my utmost sincere experience about how this game is getting played right now and why I don't like it. And it's fun. I have been enjoying the living shit playing Widowmaker and Tracer and so on. I love that shit. That was super fun because, again, it was DPSs with DPSs and a tank that I could ignore. So essentially I was playing a more structured version of TDM, and that was kind of fun, especially since it's experimental cards, so it seems like it's they're not pairing people of the same rank together, let's say it like that, so I could have some good fun just smurfing on my main account, which was interesting. But again, that is I would like to hear your opinions up below. Hopefully somebody see this. Again, I am not the god of Overwatch, so I again should not decide exactly how the balance is. This is just my experience, and after playing this game a lot, after playing this game mode, and after all the time that I put into this game as a coach, this is the issues that I have concluded with when it comes to this. I have on purposely made this video a little bit later than normally because I wanted to actually make sure that I tried this out before I gave a judgment, even though it kind of lived up to the expectation that I was giving it. Just that it's more fun than what I thought it was going to be. But it did, and some of the changes they've done to like stuff like Diva and so on made her far more viable. Also, the thing that did to Hog, I think, was like a really interesting way of making it viable, and I like that. But I don't think that this is the direction the game should go, because how tank oriented and heavy Overwatch is, and how this would change the fundamentals of how we play this game. That's my honest opinion. I would like to show that in the comment section. Like, subscribe, bell notification, all that stuff. And my Twitter is also linked down in the description in case anybody want to follow me there. I would really appreciate it. Yeah, as always, guys, if anybody want to rank up, improve, and get better at the game, you can hire me as your private coach. It's 50 euros for a 2-hour session. But as always, guys, my name has been Jonal. Please take care, stay positive. I love you guys very much, and keep getting me in your closet.